welcome to Marvel Super War Hero Spotlight, featuring Mr. Fantastic.
I'm working on an experiment, but how can I help? Interesting. I bet I can help. The solution is within reach.
Mr. Fantastic acts as a leader and a father figure of the Fantastic Four, and although his cosmic ray powers are primarily stretching abilities, his presence on the team is heavily defined by scientific acumen, as he is officially acknowledged as the smartest man in the Marvel Universe. Reed Richards gained the power of elasticity from irradiation by cosmic rays. He has the ability to convert his entire body into a highly malleable state at will, allowing him to stretch, deform, and reform himself into virtually any shape. Richard has been observed as being able to utilize his stretching form in a variety of offensive and defensive manner, such as compressing himself into a ball and ricocheting into enemies, flattening himself into a trampoline or a parachute to catch a falling teammate, or inflating himself into a life raft to aid in a water rescue. He can willfully reduce his body's cohesion until he reaches a fluid state, which can flow through minute openings or into tiny pipes. Reed is also able to shape his hands into a hammer and mace-style weapons, and concentrate his mass into his fists to increase their density and effectiveness as weapons. Having an elastic-like texture allows Reed protection from damage. He can be punched with incredible force, flattened, squished, and still reform or survive without any form of sufficient injury.
Protect ally turret. An enemy hero has been defeated. Attack. Double KO. Protect. Legendary. Protect ally turret. Protect ally turret. Protect ally turret.
Mr. Fantastic's passive, elasticity. Mr. Fantastic's become immune to all basic attack damage for 1.5 seconds if he manages to hit enemy hero with his basic attack. Take note that this has a 10-second cooldown and it does not work with turret damage. This is probably one of the strongest passive skill in the game, as this is a great counter to enemy heroes that relies on basic attack as their main damage, which is most of our heroes that are in marksman class. Mr. Fantastic's first skill, Elastic Punch. Mr. Fantastic strikes in the specified direction with both hands, dealing physical damage to enemies in range and slowing them by 35% for 1.5 seconds. After using this ability, Mr. Fantastic's next 3 basic attacks during the following 1.5 seconds gain additional range and deal an extra physical damage to the target, while also healing Mr. Fantastic. The HP restoration bonus decreases to 50% when attacking non-hero units. This is Mr. Fantastic's main damaging ability, sustain, bonus attack range, and slow all in one skill. This ability is very good as well in poking melee enemy heroes, as you will always win the exchange during the first 3 basic attacks together with his passive, elasticity. Mr. Fantastic's second skill, Flexibility. Mr. Fantastic elongates his hand in a specified direction. Upon hitting an enemy hero or monster, Mr. Fantastic pulls himself to his target, dealing physical damage to the enemy and surrounding target upon collision, and stunning them for 0.3 seconds. If a friendly target is hit, Mr. Fantastic will simply move to the target's location. Using this ability again within the next 5 seconds can trigger it once more. This is one of Mr. Fantastic's mobility tools, as long as there are heroes or jungle monsters surrounding him. This ability works well with his ultimate, as you can pull enemy heroes away from their turret or from their allies, as long as your team understands how the skill Flexibility works.
You're outsmarted again.
Mr. Fantastic's ultimate, Coil Strike. Mr. Fantastic gathers energy before charging in a specified direction, dealing physical damage to enemies in his path. If Mr. Fantastic manages to hit an enemy hero, he will bind the hero with his flexible body, inflicting a stun for 2 seconds and slowing the enemy until Mr. Fantastic releases the bind. The enemy hero will also take physical damage every 0.3 seconds for the entire duration of being bound by Mr. Fantastic. Take note that other abilities can be used while the target is bound. This is Mr. Fantastic initiating and gap closing ability. It has a very long range and good for ambushing enemy heroes. Just aim this skill carefully as you might miss your target and be in a lot of trouble like being surrounded by the enemy team.
Time to wrap things up. Time to wrap things up. Meet up back at base. Meet up back at base. So, sorry. So, sorry.